Damn! This wound is still bleeding. I better bandage it up quick before I bleed out. That's really good. So good I wouldn't say no to some more. Damn! This wound is still bleeding. I better bandage it up quick before I bleed out. Aye, true bliss is a full belly. Ah, I feel like a new man. Seems Bujana isn't some quack. She's got a damn good setup here. Hans, can you hear me, friend? Christ. In the end, you bore the brunt for both of us. May all the saints watch over you, and over Bajana, too. Lord God Almighty, look down on a poor sinner and hear my heartfelt prayer. Protect Sir Hans, and don't let him die. Just as he didn't let me die. Preserve his life. Because he's a young gentleman. Brave and just and a good Christian. And look down on Bajana too. And let her save Sir Hans. And deliver her from all evil. And grant her grace. Because she herself is merciful and didn't turn us away in our hour of need. Amen.
Amen.
I did what you asked.
And you didn't faint while doing it. I'm pleased, Henry. I had to pour a whole Lethean potion into you last night. That's what I call medicine. It can either put a dead man back on his feet, or make sure he never gets up again. So consider yourself lucky.
I will. But what about Capon?
Well, he's less lucky. That brute really knocked him about before Hans beat the life out of him.
Is there any way I can help? I owe it to Capon, and I want to do whatever I can.
You owe him, all right. I've got a bit of that Lethean potion left. It ought to work wonders on him, same as on you. But I can't just give it to him now. First, we have to deal with that fever. The best and fastest remedy for that is chamomile decoction. Luckily, it ain't too hard to brew, but we'll need some fresh sage for it. And, of course, chamomile. You ought to be able to manage that. You've got young legs and eyes, and I reckon a bit of a stroll would do you good.
All right. Tell me, what do the herbs look like?
Sage has a purple blossom, and chamomile has white petals with a yellow center. At the back of the hut, there's a footpath leading up to the rocks. You go along there till you reach a sort of small meadow. You ought to find both of them there.
Great. I'll be back in a jiffy with a couple of handfuls.
All right. I'll be glad if you get back here soon. I don't feel right being here with that corpse in my yard. Seeing him lying there gives me chills. I can't think straight.
I understand. It makes me anxious too. Maybe I could manage to bury him somewhere. Or at least hide him somewhere further off in the woods.
The Lord be praised. I'd be truly glad of that. Do you feel up to it, laddie? You ain't in the best of shape, and digging a grave's a tough job, even for a healthy fella.
Not to worry. I'll see what I can manage. It's on account of us that he's here anyway. I wouldn't want you to have any more trouble. And a bit of effort, even if it's a dirty job, is the least I owe you.
Well, if you think you can manage it, good. But don't overstrain yourself. And thanks.
Where should I put him?
Grab the spade by the dung pile and bury him by the creek. The soil will be softer there, so it should be easier. When you head out the gate, follow your nose. Find a good spot somewhere in the reeds and nettles. And when you're done with that, better have a wash, so's you don't have the stench of death on you.
True. I'll bear that in mind.
I'll sort out the rest with Ignatius, the gravedigger, when he comes by again, so's I don't have that wretch lying here till Judgment Day.
All right. I'll get to it.
Bring that chamomile and sage. If there's anything you need, we'll talk about it.
Shit! My shoulder. This bastard's hard work. I'll put him down somewhere for a while so I can start digging. I can't just go wandering around. I have a duty to Sir Hans. Damn, his shoulder still hurts like hell. Maybe now it'll tell me when it's gonna rain. Purple flower, sage, there we go. That's it. Chamomile. Right, I've got all the herbs I need. So back to Bajena on the double. The sooner Hans gets that remedy, the better. What's that dog making such a fuss about? Could something have happened at Bajena's? I should have some weapon at hand, in case there's any foul play.
And his company yesterday down by the pond. 2 of them fled and they must be hiding. Hey, what are you
Sick 'em, lad.
Fuck you, Horson!
Shit! Shit!
Did they hurt you?
No, but I think they would have if you hadn't come along.
Who do you think they were?
I don't know how much you heard. They came here saying they was from Lord von Burgo, and they was looking for 2 bandits that ambushed some knight yesterday. But for sure they wasn't von Burgo's people. They didn't even have his Waffenrocks. But they sure sounded keen to find you fellas.
Maybe they were from that band that followed us yesterday.
Look here. I almost got slaughtered twice in one day on account of you 2. God be praised that my Pavlena wasn't here. Heaven knows what they'd have done to her. So, I'd like to know why all this is happening. Your friend was talking in a delirium in the night, saying you was knights. But if you 2 are knights, then I'm the Queen of Sheba.
Well, I must bow to your ladyship. Sir Hans is the young lord of Leiper and Perkstein. I'm Henry of Skalitz, son of Sir Radzig Cobbler, and I'm his bodyguard. We were heading to Trusky to deliver a message from Sir Hanish of Leiper and Margrave Jobst to Lord von Burgov. But we were ambushed by bandits yesterday down by the pond, and you already know the rest. And as God is my witness, we're no bandits. I swear to you. I'm thankful to you for saving us. And I'm sorry it caused you trouble.
Well, you sound sincere, so I'll take your word for it. I hope I won't live to regret it.
You won't. I promise you.
Promises are made to be broken, but thank you for dealing with them. Except I have 2 fresh corpses in my yard.
Now, don't worry. I reckon I've still got a bit of strength left. I ought to be able to manage it before evening.
I'd be eternally grateful to you. But be careful while you're at it. You don't want to open that wound or strain yourself.
What about Sir Hans? How's he doing?
He's holding up, I'd say. I treated his wounds and I'll change his bandages shortly. But what he needs most now is that remedy. Have you got everything for it?
Here. Chamomile and sage, like you said.
Excellent. Now to brew the potion from them. I gave you 2 the last of my supply during the night, but fresh is best anyways. It's a shame my daughter Pavlena ain't back yet. She'd get it done in a jiffy, but we'll just have to manage without her. But you can do it too. It ain't nothing hard. My eyes are so bad, it'd take me all day. But at least I can tell you how to go about it.
Me? I thought you'd do that.
I will not. I'm telling you, I'm as blind as a mole. And without Pavlena, everything takes me forever. It'd be done by now if you didn't keep making excuses.
True enough. Sorry. I'll do what's needed. Well, I've been at the alchemist bench a few times, but it's been quite a while.
That's grand. More than I was hoping for. And not to worry, it'll all come back to you. I have a book here with the recipe, but it'll be better if I tell you. I know it by heart.
I can read as well as any man, if that's what you mean.
My word. Maybe you really are a noble son.
I'll take the book just in case, but if you give me some advice, I'd be grateful.
Of course. Everything we need is in the hut. Let's get to it. Everything's prepared. There's an alchemy bench in the alcove. First, go to the recipe book. Now find the recipe for chamomile decoction and remember what you have to do. Then get back to the bench and we'll start. You must have read it by now, surely. If you've read the recipe, get back to the bench. You must have read it by now, surely. All right. First, you have to pour the right base into the cauldron. Choose the right pitcher from the shelf on the left, according to the recipe. So, what did you pour in there?
Wine, of course. Like it says in the book.
Glad to hear it. Now try moving the cauldron over the flame, so you know how it looks when it starts boiling a bit. Hear that bubbling? It's boiling. Remember that well. For most potions, you just have to simmer the herbs for a bit. But sometimes you need to get it good and hot. So you have to get the fire blazing under the cauldron using the bellows. Try fanning it with the bellows to get it boiling. It's boiling. To keep it going, you mustn't stop with the bellows. If you want to cool it down quick, take it off the flames. Try it. Move the cauldron up. Good. Now we'll start with the brewing. Get all the herbs that you need ready. The ones you picked. Put them there on the shelf, so you've got them at hand. Maybe I ain't seeing right, but don't you have only one bag there? Something's missing. All right, let's get to it. First, throw 2 handfuls of chamomile into the cauldron. Before you put it on the flame, turn the sand glass so you know how long you're brewing it. It's got to be exact. Every grain of sand counts. See? When the sand has flowed out, that's 1 turn. That's how long you have to boil the chamomile. Move the cauldron to the fire and wait until it starts bubbling. Then turn the sand glass. As soon as the sand runs out, take the cauldron off the fire again. Ain't that enough? Take the cauldron off the flames. All right. Now, take 1 handful of sage, grind it with a mortar and pestle, and drop it in the cauldron. Have you ground it? Good. Now, drop it in the cauldron. You don't have to boil it anymore. All you have to do now is decant it. Get a phial and pour it in. Done. Now, let's see what you've brewed.
Here it is.
Ooh, by the smell of it, it's a chamomile decoction the way it should be.
Happy to help.
This should help Hans get better. I'll take care of it now.
All right. Is there anything else I can do to help?
Well, if you feel up to it, I'd be right grateful to you if you was to rid me of them damn corpses what's lying there the whole time.
Sure. I'll do the best I can.
When you're done with that, go get some sleep. You won't miss anything, and you need the rest after everything that happened.
Ah, fuck. Ah, this damn shoulder. Oof.
A sword such as this will bring honor to its bearer.
True, Sir Radzik. If I'd have had it like back in Nicopolis, things would have worked out differently.
Where's my fucking sword?
And I found it. Everything I take now will be mine. And I plan to take everything.
Rotten hell! Ugh.
Why would I miss one sword?
Because it's the last one my father forged, and I promised him I'd deliver it to you.
Stronger dog fucks the bitches. And war is a nasty business.
Where's my fucking sword?
You know what? I think I'll keep it. As a memento.
This isn't over. I'll find you!
Yeah!
Don't disappoint me.
Wake up, Henry. It's past sunrise. Hallelujah. I thought you'd never wake. Were you having a nightmare?
Bad dreams. You must be Pavlena, right?
That's right. I came in the evening while you were asleep. Ma told me what happened to you. Then I helped Ma take care of your friend that night?
Hans? He's alive. How is he?
Have no fear. He's alive, all right. Maybe too alive. Ma knows what she's doing, and that's the truth. I reckon she could bring the dead back to life. She said she dosed you with the strongest remedies she knows, and it looks like they did the trick. On that other fella for sure. Since he came to this morning, He hasn't stopped talking.
Yeah, that sounds like him, all right.
And what about you? How do you feel?
Definitely better than yesterday. Thanks.
That's good. Ma will be glad, but I heard you yelling in your sleep and went to check on you. Bad dreams?
I dreamt of Istvan Toth, a villainous, murderous whoreson who stole my sword. The last memento I had of my father, and I swore to get that sword back and avenge my parents.
Oh, that oath must be serious if it even torments you in your sleep. Dreams shouldn't be taken lightly. They can have real meaning, however hard they are to understand. What strikes you as the most important part of your dream?
I dreamt of terrible things. Flames, violence, war. And then the glittering silver and scallops turned into the surface of a lake. And from the lake emerged a naked, supernaturally beautiful girl. She took me into her arms and carried me away from everything to her own island. And there, she saved my life.
Well now, that probably means you're lonely and seeking company. Fortunately, you can join ours. Breakfast is on the table, and I've got something else for you too. Come along, and we must save Ma from the clutches of his lordship.
Look who's finally up! Henry! Come and join us! Good morning, Henry! You have no idea how glad I am to see you. Come join our banquet in the midst of these exquisite woods.
I'm glad to see you too. I see you're in a surprisingly good mood for someone who was at death's door yesterday.
It's all the more cause for merrymaking! Even this water now tastes like the finest wine.
Of course, I did bring it all the way from the spring.
And for that, I am in your debt, fair maid. And I'm grateful to you too, Henry. Bojena told me what happened here yesterday. That's the third time you've saved my life. I suppose I'll have to give you some estate or something.
The third time? What in God's name happened the first 2 times?
Now, Henry, don't make her beg. Tell this good maiden of your heroic deeds.
Well, there was this time when me and Hans had some fisticuffs in the tavern, and for punishment, I had to accompany him on the hunt.
And I shot a boar.
And made it mad. And when Hans chased after the wounded animal, he got caught by a human patrol.
Humans?
They come from somewhere in Hungary. Sigismund brought them here to Bohemia as mercenaries. They're a very dangerous bunch.
I told you about them, though. The fellas in the tavern in Zheleov were saying there's some foreigners like that camping in the rocks down by the pond.
What?
It's just what I heard.
Whoa, that's all we need. I hope they don't turn up here. What could us two do alone against them?
What could they want from us? But if they did come here to rob us, I'd shoot enough arrows into them to make them think twice. But the thing I want to know is, how did it end up with young Sir Hans?
Well, as I said, they took him captive.
Well, there must have been 10 of them. I hadn't a chance.
You must have been seeing double. As I recall, there were 2.
That just proves how well you can count. Besides, they were armed to the teeth and had bows and armor. It might as well have been 10.
Whatever. Anyway, with a bit of luck, I managed to free Sir Hans.
Why the modesty? You got them. Maybe a stroke of luck, but as we know, audentes.
Fortuna juvat.
See now, you've finally learned it.
What?
It's just this kind of motto of ours. Fortune favors the bold.
Maybe they're really telling the truth about who they are. Who but a lord or a priest could know Latin? And priests they ain't. I can tell.
And as I recall, you already got a pony from Uncle Hanush as a reward for saving me. Your pebbles. So I'll save myself a few groschen.
But you never gave me anything for Talmberg.
For Townberg? What was that about then?
The foe took the castle by subterfuge, and we planned a counterattack.
Under the cloak of darkness, we scaled the mighty walls of Talmberg Castle to get inside and open the portcullis to our brothers in arms who were poised and ready to attack.
And we almost succeeded. Only, along the way, Sir Hans here took an arrow to his noble seat.
Seat? He got shot in the backside.
My upper thigh, actually.
Backside it was. But that's no joke either. It's not easy to run with an arrow stuck in your arse. If I hadn't carried him...
I admit it, you saved my arse.
Well, now, you two have been through a thing or two. As far as I can tell, it really was his backside and not his thigh. I examined Hans and saw the scar for myself. But I reckon you paid off part of your debt the other day, sir.
No, true. I'll never forget you for dragging me all the way here from the lake.
You're quite welcome. The Lords of Lipa do not leave their friends in the lurch.
Do tell. What else did the two of you encounter?
Quite a lot of things. But I'm afraid we don't have much time for storytelling right now. We came here on an important mission, and we cannot afford to dally any longer. We have to get to Trotsky as soon as we can. How far is it from here?
Not far. Once you climb the hill above Zheleov, you'll see the castle.
All right. I think we should get on our way as soon as possible.
I'll prepare a bit of food for you, for your journey.
Oh, Bozhena, I don't know how to thank you for all this.
But I do. Once we've settled our business with von Bergov, I shall reward you as befits a knight. You have my word of honor.
Now you've got me curious. I never got a knight's word before.
For a start, you can leave me that axe and spade. We can't manage without them.
Yes, of course. And thanks for everything you've done, Bozhena.
I have something for you, Henry. Ma had trouble because of you, but I know you didn't do it on purpose, and you protected her when she needed it. I want to thank you for that. Take this potion. It will help when you're in danger or don't know which way to turn. Have a little sip each time, and it'll save you a lot of trouble. You'll see. It's not all that hard to brew. With a bit of practice, you could manage it yourself.
Thanks, Pavlena. This'll come in handy.
No doubt. But we'd better get going now.
Hans is right. We're very glad we met you. And we're obliged to you for your help and hospitality. God bless you.
And you too, sirs.
As Henry says, may God bless you for your generosity and your healing arts. And you have rightfully earned the gratitude of the House of Lipa for all time. If you should ever find yourself in need, the doors of Perkstein shall always be open to you.
Thank you, sir. Though, I'm not sure I could find the way to Perkstein. Hopefully we'll never need to take up your offer.
Are you managing here all right?
We don't complain. We mostly live off the woods, and when we need something else, we buy it or get it from the villagers. Mostly, I weave baskets. And me and Ma brew ointments and potions. Then I go around the villages selling them, or I barter them for stuff we need. Sometimes folk come here to us, when it's something serious.
You said you'd shoot arrows at the humans. You can use a bow.
Yeah, I'm pretty handy with it. I train up there, on the cliff, whenever I have a free moment. And the hares hanging in Ma's kitchen didn't just walk in by themselves. If they'd let me take part in the tournament at Trusky Castle, I'd beat all the men hands down, but that'll never happen. So I have to make do with hares and a straw mannequin.
Is anything interesting happening around these parts?
Them bandits is riding roughshod over the place. It's about time Lord von Burgau rousted them out, but I reckon you know something about that, huh?
You got that right.
And there's to be a big wedding. Young Lord Semin's gonna marry the daughter of the bailiff of Truskovitz, Thrush. That's the biggest thing happening. Apart from that, a band of nomads turned up here. They got a camp somewhere down by the pond.
How come you live here and not in the village?
Oh, that's hard to explain. It's just the way things turned out. And Ma and... Look, that's our affair, and we won't talk about it. Sorry. God be with you. Sorry for coming late.
Those corpses have been taken care of. They're gone to rest by the stream.
Oh, thanks, Henry. I appreciate it. You did what you could. Me and the gravedigger will do the rest, so I ain't stuck with that corpse forever. Good day to you.
Good day.
How come you live out here?
That's just the way it is. It's for me to know, and you to find out.
Ah. All right. I won't pry. Can you tell me something about these parts?
What can I say? The village of Sheleov is nearby, and close to it there's a big traveller's inn. And to the north of Sheleov is Tachov. They've got a blacksmith's there, and a small tavern. There's no love lost between the folks from Sheleov and Tachov. They're always out to spite each other. Some dispute about some meadow.
Well, I don't suppose those are the only villages around here.
It ain't far from Sheleov to Semin. Sir Jan, the owner, he got a big stud farm with fine horses, and down by the water, a mill. The biggest village in these parts is Troskovitz, what lies at the foot of the castle. The local bailiff has his seat there, and there's a tavern too. Then there's Nebakov Fortress, Sir Yaramir's seat. There's a mill at the foot of it. But Pavlena knows more gossip about folk around here. She goes out and about. I stay home these days and hardly meet a soul. Take care now.
Got to get to the castle before dark. Finally! Where do you keep dallying?
My apologies, sir. I'm here now. We can get going.
Henry, don't provoke me.
I don't think Trotsky Castle is going to go anywhere. So what's the rush for all of a sudden?
We have a crucial mission, and things are already fucked up quite enough. I intend to return to Rattay with good news and to do it quickly. Let's go!
What about the rest of our company? Could someone else have got away?
You saw for yourself. They didn't stand a chance. But you're right, we shouldn't just leave it at that. As soon as we get to Trotsky, I'll make sure they get a proper Christian burial and their souls find peace.
And when we get back to Rattay, we'll have a mass served for them.
You're right. They were damned good lads. I'd known Oates since childhood. Damn it.
Hold on a bit. Before we hit the road, there's something you should know. I have a hunch that one of that band that ambushed us at the pond was Istvan Toth.
Toth? Are you yanking my pizzle? He's long since over the hills and far away.
I tell you, I saw him there.
Of course, Henry. I know you have accounts to settle with him, but that's nonsense. Toth is in Sigismund's service and is harassing his opponents. And Otto von Bergov is one of Sigismund's allies. So Toth's hardly going to attack his people. It was dark. God knows what you saw.
I saw him, the bastard, and I'll get him.
Yes, we'll surely get him one day. I promise you. And your sword, too. But I don't think either of them are around here. You're still my protector, though, so you need a weapon right away. Here you go. You never know.
Where'd you get it?
I found it in the dung pile. Must have belonged to the fellow I brawled with that night we got here. Come on, let's get going. Your mind will turn to better things along the way.
hope they've got a good physician at this castle. Or at least a barber. I mean, that old crone got me on my feet. But I don't believe much in herbal remedies. You can't beat an educated man of medicine.
And I can't wait to sleep in a proper bed.
And some wine!
Oh, fucking hell.
Oh, it's closed. Open up! I bear an urgent message for your liege lord. Hear me! Open the gate! I am a messenger from Sir Hanush of Lipa. Fucking shit! Fuck! You fucking cunts! Do you know who I am? No, we fucking don't! I am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein, heir to Ratai! Now, look here, you filthy beggar! I'm not here for your amusement, so get your stinking, ragged asses out of here on the double. The pair of you!
What's all this about? Why don't you send those beggars packing?
I did, sir. They say they're messengers. I am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein. Envoy...
I heard. Nevertheless, I doubt Sir Hanush would send two vagabonds covered in excrement as emissaries. Apart from which, Sir Hans Capon is dead. We found his body by the pond. His company was ambushed by outlaws, and they were slaughtered to the last man.
Yes, they ambushed us, but we managed to get away.
Sir, we met your Captain Thomas on our way. He can testify to who we are. He saw our message and its seal.
How terribly unfortunate you are. The captain's company was also ambushed by outlaws. The captain barely escaped with his life and has been delirious for 3 days. And even if he did confirm your story, I am under strict orders to admit no strangers to the castle.
Sir, there's a horseman approaching in King Sigismund's colours.
Ah, now that's what a messenger looks like. Count yourselves lucky that I don't have time to waste on you. Be gone!
I'm getting in, whether you like it or not.
Get your shitty hands off me! No, wait. Wait, one moment!
What the fuck was that?
So now what?
There's only one thing we can do.
You two got any groschen?
What do you take me for, wench?
For someone who stinks like a badger.
Look, we've had a tough couple of days, so we'd like a bit of peace and quiet, a beer, and a bite to eat.
Unless you want to share a bowl of gruel, you're going to need more coin than this.
Just bring the best you have, and we'll settle later.
As the gentleman wishes.
Well, she's not far off. We look like a couple of beggars, and we stink even worse.
What the fuck was all that at the gate? You try to talk to them and get shit poured on your head.
Different lands, different customs.
God's holy britches.
I expect they've had trouble with beggars at the castle, so they act without thinking.
Oh, really? I'd never have figured that out. I'd rather hear some cunning plan how to get out of this shit. Huh?
Hey, where's that beer?
Oh, we could track down those bandits and get our letter back. With that, they'd have to let us in.
How do you intend to do that? Ask them nicely. Please, kind bandits, pretty please, can we have our letter back? Or do you want to charge at them in these rags and hope our stink knocks them out, eh?
No, we can't take them on alone. True. We should go back to Ratai and get reinforcements.
To Ratai? You just don't get it, do you? We can't go crawling back like this. We'd be a laughing stock.
A laughingstock? We were outnumbered by a gang of bandits.
Yes, and how come they got away with it? Because we camped at that fucking pond. We've got no message, no coin, nothing but our ragged arses.
Chin up. We'll sort it out somehow, and everything will be fine again.
Nothing will be fine, my friend. I'll tell you 4 reasons why. Oates, Tankard, Conrad, and Nicholas, instead of sitting here with us, having a chat and a laugh, they're just food for crows in some godforsaken hole.
We'll go back and bury them as soon as we can.
Yeah, as soon as possible. They were good Christians, even though it didn't always seem that way.
We'll keep the promise we made at Bajena's. The best way to honor their memory is to finish our mission. We'll get inside the castle. You'll see. We'll avenge our lads and go back to Ratai with our heads held high. I promise you that.
Audentes fortuna juvat.
Audentes fortuna juvat.
Food. About bloody time.
Here we are. Gentlemen.
What is this stuff?
Hey, there's meat in that. And there's more than you gave me coin for. When you're finished, report for work.
Cheers.
What is it?
What's that woman from the pond?
Or the one you gave us away for?
Fight better that witch.
Wench!
What I tell you?
Christ. What are you waiting for? She can vouch for who we are. Go to her.
God be with you. A full pitcher of wine, please.
My word, that's a picture and a half. I ain't seen you here before. Who sent you? Not them nomad vagabonds, I hope.
Don't worry. I've come from the castle. I'm Catherine, and I've got the lovely job of keeping the soldiers' throats wet.
Ah, that's another matter then. Oh my. Ugh. Can you smell that too?
Oof. It stinks like something died here.
You're the one from that pond.
Jesus, fella. That's a bit much.
Hey, youngster, if you want to go around mixing with my guests here, go and wash the stench off yourself at the trough first. Stinking up my establishment.
Aye,
I
health,
heard some
lads.
talk about
That's
it.
the most important thing. Enjoy your...
What was that? Daddy's wounded?
Oh. Poor Captain Thomas might never get back on his feet.
My knees and back.
Him and his men were attacked by bandits. Most of them are dead.
Jesus Christ!
Lord von Berghoff is beside himself and won't allow his soldiers out the castle.
Aha! So that's why they sent you for the wine. Wait a moment then. I'll be right back.
That must hurt, don't it?
A bit. Sorry to bother you, but I've seen you before.
Oh, eh? I don't remember. Hold on. Are you the boy that cleans the pit under the castle shitting hole?
Better to have a drink instead. Eh? Good health, then.
You were attacked by those bandits.
What bandits? What are you on about?
I thought we divided up fairly. But that
We saved you. Me and my lord there. Surely you couldn't forget.
I have no idea what you're on about. I work at the castle, and I wasn't at any pond.
And Betty most of all.
What are you playing at, woman? We were attacked by bandits. They killed a lot of people and groped you. If it wasn't for me...
Then what? I'm telling you, I wasn't at any pond. Blimey! I've had lots of men try to woo me with tall stories, but this is the most pathetic attempt yet.
Here's your wine. Is this vagabond bothering you?
I can handle the likes of him myself. Thanks for the wine. Bye.
Look, please. I don't know what's up with you, but I know you were there. I need your help. You owe me that much. But we need to get to von Berghoff, and you're the only one who can confirm who we are.
You can't get into the castle. And even if you could, that was the king's messenger. Von Berghoff is getting ready to ride out.
Shit.
If you want to speak to him, the best place would be Samin's wedding. He'll be there. For sure.
No, wait.
And don't ever lay your hands on me again.
What are you gaping at? Have you nothing better to do?
One of them nomads is an acrobat who does all kinds of tricks. An acrobat, eh?
Why are you standing here like a pillar of salt? Are you ready?
Always ready.
Glad to hear it. You pair ordered a lot more than you paid for, so you work your debt off, like I said.
Can't it wait? We've got coin, just not at the moment.
Oh, why? We'll pay you back when we see you again, which is never. Over there by the gate, there's a cart with sacks of flour from the mill. My old man was meant to take them into the house, but as soon as he got a sniff of work, he vanished into thin air. The second door in there leads to the pantry. That's where I need you to haul the sacks. You have to lay each sack on the planks, so they don't touch the damp floor and go moldy. If you just chuck it on the floor in the corner, it'll spoil. So do it properly. 2 men can finish the work in a jiffy, and then we'll be quits.
Carrying sacks? Sorry, but we'd be wasted on that kind of work. We can do a lot more than just lugging stuff from place to place.
I can't wait to hear this. Go on, impress me.
Before we were ambushed, we were carrying an important message for Lord von Berghoff. We're envoys, important messengers. If you need someone to negotiate for you, we're your men. But sacks of flour? No, thank you.
Ambushed envoys, eh? Jesus, there's no end of trouble with them bandits. Like it or not, you can't pay what you owe me, so I'm putting you to work. And I couldn't care less if you're envoys or common vagabonds. Got that?
All right. We'll do it.
Glad to hear it. I can see you ain't stuck up like your mate. Where are you actually from, if you don't mind me asking?
From far away.
I ain't been further than the back off me whole life, but I know this place inside and out.
I heard some talk about some wedding being planned here.
Ah, nobody's talking about nothing else. Young Lord Samin is marrying Agnes, the daughter of Thrush, our Truscovitz bailiff. And it's going to be a grand affair. When rich folks get married, that's a feast that's a lot different from when some tanner gets hitched to a bat-house wench.
Could I get to the wedding somehow?
I don't know about that, lad. It's for invited guests only.
Where's the wedding going to be?
At Samin, of course. I expect old Sir Jan and our bailiff will try to outdo each other in showing off their wealth.
Who is this Semin?
Can't you tell by the name? The Lord of Samin. The fort in the village belonged to him. Old Jan Samin is the head of the family, and his son's called Olda, and it's him who's getting itched. There used to be a rich family. Their glory's faded a bit, but they still have some clout.
Will Lord von Berghoff be at the wedding?
How should I know what his lordship's plans are? But most likely he will be. Samin is his vassal.
It seems that's really our only chance.
What's that?
Oh, nothing.
If you want to find out more, there's a couple of invited guests having an ale over there. Young Svaja there. He's the bride's brother. He can be a bit of a pain, but he's a good lad at heart.
Is this the only tavern here?
In Truscovitz it is.
You must be doing pretty well then, eh?
I'd be doing a lot better if everyone paid their bills.
What's life like here?
Better now that you and your pal have finally had a wash. Truth to tell, it used to be better. The war might be far away, but more and more young lads are going away to fight. But then there's a shortage of folk to do the work around here, and that's a big problem.
Where can I find work here?
First, you gotta carry them sacks for me, so don't bother looking anywhere else yet. But otherwise, you can find work anywhere. You just need to keep your eyes open and not be afraid to ask. Try Radovan the smith for one. He's a bit odd, but he'll pay decently for a helping hand. Come to mention it, he's sat just round the corner there, if you want to ask him about it. And that fella next to him is Miller Crazel. He needs helpers now and then, but watch out for him. You know what they say about Millers.
I've heard things all right.
Well then, be careful.
Where do you want the sacks moved to?
To the pantry. That's the second door inside there. But I'd split the work with your pal if I was you, so you don't do yourself a mischief. It's his debt too, ain't it?
Is that all you know about the wedding?
What else is there to know? I'm just looking forward to being a guest and having someone serve me for a change.
Where's the pantry?
Second door inside the tavern.
I'll go and discuss it with...
And careful with them sacks. I don't... And what can I get for you? Look out!
Going down nicely, is it? Good day. How are you? God be with you.
And with you.
She stamps and bites when she's upset.
Cheers.
Oh, aye. Oh, I feel of it.
What did you say about the smith?
Radovan, a decent sort. He's got some odd ways and he curses like the devil at times. His Smitty's in Tuckoff. That's a bit out of the way, but he all...
What did you say about the miller?
Crazel? He's a bit of a rogue. Spends all his time in Lower Samine Mill.
Excuse me? He doesn't mill flour.
Aye, he does, but it's just I've heard tell he gets up to all sorts of things that...
I'll go and start with...
Nice and steady.
And the more I think about it...
Greetings to you.
Likewise, lad.
I haven't seen you here before. Where are you from?
We're messengers from Ratai, here to deliver a letter to Lord von Burgov, in the name of Sir...
Hear that, Crazel? A messenger, he says. Looks more like a scarecrow to me.
He's a lame liar, all right. But he knows how to spin.
I'm not lying. We're messengers. But everything got out of hand.
Well, whether you're lying or not, no one will believe a word you say in them. What do they call you, lad?
Henry of Skalitz.
Fancy yourself a no.
So, Henry, what was it?
Since you've joined us.
I heard there's going to be a big wedding.
That's right. A big affair in Samine.
Everyone wants to go.
And anyone who's not invited is trying to worm their way in somehow. Not me, though. I couldn't give a toss.
Because you weren't invited, eh?
Of course I was invited. But what do I care about young Samine and the bailiff's lass? We're all just playthings in God's hands. One day, our earthly bonds will vanish in time, like smoke.
Trying to sound clever again, are you, Crazel? Sod that. It's going to be big. Even Lord von Burgo himself is going to be at the wedding. And he hardly ever shows it.
So...
The best thing would be to find a job.
Aye. There's always lots of hands needed at a wedding. As the hours pass and the guests raise their goblets, they'll lower...
Could someone get to the wedding without an invitation?
Someone? You mean?
Well, I think it might be possible. A play of light and shadow, a cloak.
What are you going on about? More military...
All right, all right.
Semin's bound to keep a damn close eye on his big day. See?
Would it be possible to get to von Burgov, even though he keeps his distance from people?
I don't know. He's either locked away in his castle or traveling somewhere. And he's powerful, so the only chance of meeting him is at the wedding. At least for us who are invited.
And everybody will want something from him. He'll be dancing for joy, I can tell you.
I haven't been here before, and I'd like to learn something about this region.
What's there to say? It's not a bad place to live.
It's usually peaceful, thank God. I don't like too much excitement.
You've got good reason to hide, I reckon.
That's enough of your mudslinging. It's actually good to live in an estate where the Lord's away most of the time.
That's true. Just a couple of villages, rocks, fields, not even a church worth the name, in fact. That's despite Otto van Burgo being one of the kingdom's most powerful nobles. The darkest place.
When his lordship isn't in these parts, his...
Yeah, I saw him on the gate tower.
Aye, he's a right haughty bastard. On the other...
If you can get to him...
I'm looking for work.
And what can you do?
I can do a lot of things. But mainly, I'm a blacksmith.
Bugger me. A blacksmith, you say? That makes two of us. And my apprentices have just vanished along with my goods, the bastards. When I'm swamped with work. If you're not talking shit, and you can wield a hammer, and if you prove your worth, I'll even take you to that wedding.
Why would you work at a forge? Come and work for me at the mill. And I can get you to that wedding too.
Leave it out, you rogue. I asked him first.
Interesting offers.
Don't leave it too fucking long, or it might be too late.
If you're after more than just brute force and fire, you'll find me in Lower Samine.
And me in Takov.
So it's peace.
Aye.
But we'll be back.
About that...
Drop by...
What a
I've got to be...
Wait. There's something else I want. Out with the truth. You ain't no messengers.
We really are. We didn't look like this when we left. We set up camp down by the pond. And in the evening, we were attacked by bandits. They slaughtered our men. It was only through luck that we saved our skins. We lost everything.
Can't say I'm surprised. I'd send you packing myself. But it's true, there's bandits marauding in these parts. They're getting bolder and bolder.
Aye, these are evil times. Nothing ever happened like that.
Farewell, then.
Farewell.
The clearer it is to me that...
Cheers. Cheers.
Aye.
Take her away. Somewhere she's out of sight.
What did I do to you?
You know,
God be with you.
I'm with you.
Cheers. Greetings. Are you the
Hi, that's me. Who are you?
We're messengers from Ratai. We were going to...
You and that other dung heap on legs?
I swear it's true.
Look, I'm too old for... I'll probably forget after a few tankards anyway. What do you want? You don't think you're gonna...
No. I'll just have a couple of questions.
Ask away. I have plenty of...
I already know how to get to the wedding. I spoke to the miller and the smith, and they both...
Oh, aye. The smith does business with old Tameen. And nothing happens around these parts with... But watch out. If I see you're up to no good there, they'll get more than a...
What's going on here in the region?
Apart from the bandits, life's peaceful enough. The war has steered clear of us, thankfully. Lord von Berghoff, but high politics is nothing for me. I don't stick my nose into it.
I heard your sister's getting married.
Indeed she is. It's going to be a grand affair. There are even Lord von Berghoff is coming. That's how important my...
Look, I need to pass on an important message to von Berghoff. Do you think you could...
Invite you? Not a chance.
It would only be for a while.
Look, loads of lackeys like you will be needed at the wedding. I'm not saying you're sure to get to von Berghoff.
You must know young Lord Semmi, don't you?
Aye, he's a close friend. Although he's been acting...
Odd? Odd how?
He spends more time in the woods than at home. Always riding off somewhere and doesn't want to talk...
Thanks. I have to be...
Wait a moment. Since you're here, do you play dice? It occurred to me we could roll a few. What do you say?
I've got nothing to wager.
That's a shame. It's no fun if there's nothing at stake. You know what? If you beat me, we'll...
You'd invite us, you mean?
You'd have to beat me first.
We'll see about that.
You really are desperate. Be with you.
Oh, Fortuna, may the best player win.
Stop shouting and have a drink. Yeah? All right. Give it here.
Innkeeper, a beer. Remind me not to play with you next time. These ones here.
A tankard of ale, thanks. To your health, my friends.
So, I went to see my brother.
Kurva! Bloody dice.
I bought a lovely...
One beer.
How's life treating you?
Not too bad. I've got so much to do. I have to split myself in two to get it done.
Why don't you take on a young apprentice to help you out? Sure, but where can I get a decent apprentice? People are always asking.
You seem ventilating. No,
They are never good enough for you.
Not in a while.
So good for
Strange, eh?
I need someone who's capable and has a good head on his shoulders. And most importantly,
Maybe he's ill? You're no saint yourself.
excellent!
That was a pretty poor show, fella.
What can you do? Dice is mainly about luck.
Bollocks it is. You need to use your head. Oh well. Maybe we'll have a rematch someday. When you get a hold of some groschen.
What about a rematch right now?
No chance. The offer doesn't stand anymore.
And to us.
What a couple of course.
How's it going?
What do you mean?
Cheers. I talked to that woman from the pond.
So I noticed, and you took your time coming back to me. It didn't look like she was too pleased to see you, though.
The main thing is, she denied ever being at the pond.
It's definitely her, though. You don't forget a figure like hers.
I got the feeling she didn't want to talk about it for some reason. I did get something out of her, though.
What? Don't keep me in suspense.
Von Bergov is about to leave the castle.
Sacre! If he pledges to Sigismund before we can get to him, everything's fucked.
Calm down, let me finish. There's also going to be a big wedding in the region. Young Sir Older, the son of a respected nobleman from nearby Semine Fort, is marrying Agnes, the daughter of Thrush, the local bailiff. It's the talk of the town. Invitation only, it seems. But getting to the wedding isn't as impossible as it might seem. There'll be lots of jobs to do for it. So we could get there as help for the blacksmith, or miller, and maybe someone else.
Why should some wedding in a shithole near Trotsky be of any interest to us?
Because it looks like Von Bergov will be there.
Oh, that's fantastic news, Henry. So all we have to do is get on the guest list. And that shouldn't be a problem because you've got a cunning plan, right?
Like I said, there's going to be a lot of work involved in a wedding like that. That's our chance.
Work. Well, if you want. But how will you get me to the wedding?
Well, I thought we could both get jobs there.
I'm sure there are other options.
There's something else we have to sort out first. I spoke to the innkeeper.
I noticed that too.
We can work off our debt. All we have to do is carry a few sacks of flour from that cart to the pantry. If we both do it, we'll be finished in no time.
Lug sacks? Are you yanking my noble pizzle?
I'm serious.
I can't work. I'm a noble. What if someone saw me?
Do you have any idea what you look like?
Well, all right. I may not look much like a noble, but my blood's still blue. People will remember my face, and when everything's cleared up, word will get around that I lugged sacks here like some beggar. As if the disgrace at the gate wasn't enough. Oh!
You know, sir, not everyone is born with a silver spoon in their mouth. Ordinary people have to work their whole lives. So you should be able to manage it too. At least for one day.
Henry, haven't you ever heard of the 3 states of man?
Would that be some aristocratic excuse?
Not so fast. It's God's law. Oratoris, the priests who pray for us. Laboratoris, the plebs who shovel shit and pay taxes. And Bellatoris, the warriors who protect the ones on their knees or in the fields. Now, which am I? So if you find me a sword, I can get to work. But wield a pitchfork or carry sacks? That's against God and nature.
So, which do I belong to?
Good question. Before I'd have said you were a peasant, but it turned out that you're a noble's bastard. And you're pretty handy with a sword. And you've even been in a monastery.
I'd rather forget about that.
you're a bit of everything. But if you get your hands dirty with labour, it wouldn't be such an offence against divine order as in my case. Pure blood, noble status and that. In short, be so kind as to get to work. I promise I'll make it up to you.
Are you really not going to help me? It's just a couple of sacks.
Come now, Henry. What did I tell you about Bella Torres and the natural order of the world? I simply cannot carry sacks.
Well, I'm afraid there's nothing else for it if we're to ever get out of this place. So, Lord or no Lord, the sacks are waiting.
Let them wait. Sacks are good at it. It's not long since I had to drag one sack through the night, and if I hadn't, that sack wouldn't be here now. So I think I've done my fair share. I mean it, Henry. Stop trying to push me.
Suit yourself, then. So, you simply aren't going to work?
It's not appropriate.
Right. I'll get to work. Alone.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I'll scratch your back later.
How? Well, giving me a large estate?
That too, of course. Maybe 2 estates. But above all, once we're out of the worst, I'll help you find your dog. As soon as we have at least some gear, we'll head into the forest and find Mutt in a trice. Although, if you think about the 3 states of man, looking for lost dogs is more like a huntsman's work. But let's pay no mind to that.
How generous of you, Lord Capon.
I know, my dear Henry. Such is my nature.
Ha! Hurry up and arrest him! He punched me!
And the more I think about it, the clearer it is to me that I can't do it. We could come up with a plan to take her away. Somewhere she's out.
Why did he do it?
Filthy vermin!
Fuck you!
Put him in the stocks!
That's enough. We won't stand for that here. Your goose is cooked, you scoundrel.
Would you help me?
What?
Would I come, of course?
What do you mean?
I'd
like a beer.
Hey, take her to the butcher. The more I think about it, the clearer it is to me that I can't do it.
God, I'm bored shitless.
Somewhere she's out of sight. You know.
Oof! That isn't half heavy. Oh.
And did you hear about what happened at the big wheel?
At the mill?
Yeah, the place by the Sherlock.
I don't know exactly, but when the king commands, the subjects have to obey, don't they?
You didn't hear it from a trader. The wife and I are picking cabbage. By any chance? Loads of
Aye. Come to think of it, it was him who told me.
That is good for you. Pickled cabbage drives out the black bile and puts... your fluids and balance. Saturn and Jupiter are in a bad constellation. That turns off the black bile and makes you ill. He may be a bit odd, but everything he says is true. The other day, he told me to give the cows dark ale to drink.
About that job. Drop by at Lower Sameen Mill.
Or attack off Smith.
I'd like to ask. You've heard all you need.
Won't lend me yours on any other
Aye,
day.
aye.
Go and
Take
see
my
the
advice
priest.
and go and pick her some cabbage,
He
friend.
says it's
Mind
all
where you're
right.
going.
I'll be happy to help you, friend.
Did you bring them? They get pretty heavy, I can tell you.
You ain't telling me nothing I
Went
don't
to see
know.
my brother.
Get a move on.
To talk about the inheritance.
But your father's still alive, isn't he?
Aye, but he drools all over himself. He gets this feeling that his time's nearly up.
Does he get it on?
Nearly all the time. Sure, why don't go and see him?
Once old folks start getting soft in the head, it's bad news.
Exactly. Let me tell you. Go through that.
I'll drink to that.
Pour me one.
I'd expect you to be more sympathetic towards people who've been ambushed when you've got so many bandits and other rabble here.
We are.
How's life treating you?
Not too bad. I've got so much to do. I'd have to split myself in two.
People are always asking me if you're looking for help. They're never good enough for you.
And has a good head on his shoulders.
And most important, doesn't drink.
You're no saint yourself.
Hey,
Good lord.
your
What did you roll around in?
fucking annoy me.
That way you'll keep an eye on the lad. You'll even have someone.
Your
to
wife's
you.
bed.
He comes
She's a
here
real
from
sow.
God knows where, talks out of his ass, and is then rude to boot.
I'll have you all horsewhipped for this one day, you
Cuz you should be careful you don't get a beating first. You know what? I've had enough of your farce. Sit down and shut your mouth. Or I'll...
To success. Innkeeper, have you got anything to eat?
Ugh! You rake! You ought to be ashamed walking around smelling like that.
Look out! I've just got this nasty premonition.
Good lord. What did you roll around in?
Sorry. I'll go and wash myself now.
Someone should really do something about that.
I'm in the right mind. But what are friends for if not to help each other?
Great. It's a deal.
Careful!
Why, true enough. I need to pay the tithe and give something to the church for my father's requiem.
Is it a bit early for that? His age is still St. Wenceslas today. They don't collect tithes before then.
Right, but I promised myself I wouldn't leave it till the last moment. So have you got any ideas?
Well, if I did, I wouldn't leave it till the last moment this year.
Here you go.
said some noble was resting. Not for trade, but because it wasn't taking down. Juggle why? Aye, but the weather has been stormy for a few days. So one of the branches fell off. Nothing happened to him, but it broke his horse's back.
And that pissed him off and he wants his revenge.
He complained to the bailiff, saying the old dangerous has to go.
Nothing nice left here at this rate.
Don't worry. When's the last time you saw the bailiff get anything done in time? That tree will still be here long afterwards.
Did you say?
Say it again. It was their own fault.
What do you mean? They attacked themselves? What the fuck are you trying to say?
Everyone knows it's dangerous around Trotsky. Making camp in such an unprotected place is suicide.
Where else were they supposed to make camp, smart-ass?
Somewhere in the rocks, maybe. Not out in the open by the pond. Only a fool would do that.
Stop insulting our dead companions.
What dead companions? You think I'm gonna fall for that cock and bull story?
Pack it in, Henry. There's no point in arguing with this yokel. He fancies himself as a military strategist.
I don't believe a word you're saying. A weed like you surviving a fight against bandits even von Berghoff himself has trouble with?
Believe what you like, but I'm telling the truth. And in fact, I'm willing to overlook all your insults if you apologize right now. And invite me to that wedding.
Did you hear what that lying nobody wants?
I am Sir Hans Capon, Lord of Perkstein, and I demand your immediate apology.
I am Sir Hans Capon, Lord of Perkstein. Sir Hans Capon, Lord of Perkstein. You're starting to bore me, you and your silly made-up name.
No apology, then. It looks like I'm going to have to teach you a lesson.
Oh, I'm so scared.
Didn't you hear? Apologize to him.
Oh no! Reinforcements! I'm so scared! Take your numbskull friend and get out of our village. Right now!
I give you a chance to apologize, and you keep insulting me? Get ready to pick up your broken teeth with broken fingers.
Oh, I'd like to see that. Come on, then.
You scum!
It's a fight!
He's the one.
Don't try that on me. Enough.
Fucking hell! I'll hack your ass off!
Yep, nice hit.
Filthy vermin!
Bad luck.
Wanker!
Shame on
Take that, you unwashed.
Now you're finished.
Slice him up.
Shit!
Don't
Take that fucker out, damn it!
Now you'll die. Nice strike.
What the hell is going on here? Grab them vagabonds!
Bastards! This will cost you dearly. Keep your mouth shut and don't make it worse. What? You behave like a spoilt brat. How dare you speak... Oh. You know, if you just shut up and done some work, we'd have coin by now and be on our way to the castle, but no, not his lordship. You've got a nerve.
If you hadn't have played the hero, we'd have been there long since, and I wouldn't have had to get you out of that mess.
Oh, yeah, because this isn't a mess, is it?
Fuck off.
Shut up! Or you'll get a whipping too.
Just who the hell do you think you are?
I'm fed up with pulling you out of the shit all the time.
You pulled me out of the shit! And who dragged you through the woods at night, eh? Better keep your mouth shut. I shouldn't have brought you along.
Well, that's something we can agree on. I could have been sitting in the mill instead of rotting in these stocks.
And whose fault is that?
What? Who started quarrelling with the locals in their tavern? Ugh, what an idiot I was to stand up for you.
And what good did it do? Fuck all! If it hadn't been for me, we wouldn't have even been in that tavern. We've been in the shit right from the start because you had to play at being the knight in shining underwear, saving damsels in distress.
I don't believe it. You're trying to put the blame on me? Just like that?
Who else is to blame? You're just a simple peasant who has no idea how the world works.
And you're a spoilt brat who can't even hear himself.
What the fuck did you say? I've had it up to here with you. With you and your pontificating. You were supposed to make sure nothing went wrong. And how did that turn out? It was me who had to save your life. You're fucking useless. You couldn't even keep an eye on your own mutt.
That's enough! Don't you fucking realise how badly you've been wronging me all this time? I bend over backwards for you, I tolerate all your stupid fucking whims, and what do I get? Insults and accusations. But right from the start you acted like you were on some nobleman's outing. All you cared about was whoring and boozing. You know full well the ambush was your fault, and now you're kicking out so you don't have to admit it.
What do you...
But let me finish. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth like you, but unlike you, I'd have managed to deliver that message. And that's because I'm responsible and know how to behave in a way that doesn't make me feel ashamed. In a way that would make my parents proud of me.
Which parents do you mean? Radzig?
Aye, Radzig, let's say. Nobody could be proud of you, Capon. Nobody.
We'll see who's proud of who.
Right, ladies. Time to go home. But I swear to Christ, if I catch you again, I'm gonna skin you both alive.
Isn't that?
Oh, so Otto.
Hey! Loco Bogo!
Oh, shit. Right, where were we? Go on, get out of my sight.
What are we gonna do? You can do as you like. You can go and carry sacks or dig latrines. I'll look after myself. I'll go and see Lord von Berghoff at the wedding. I bid you farewell.
Oh. Yeah. If I were in your shoes, I'd be glad to be rid of the good for nothing, eh? Yeah. All right, off you go.
I suppose I really do need to find some job. I'll find muck without you, you stuck-up Lord of Perkstein.
Henry? Hey, you! You're Henry, right? Or was it the other one?
Over
Don't cause
here.
any trouble. Got it? God be with you. How's the watch going?